So, apart from bordering on insanity, being away from my LEGO for the past 2 months has forced me to try some pretty strange alternatives. That's right, so in this video we're going to be exploring the epic alternative that Playmobil is to LEGO. Okay, I am just joking, please nobody take that seriously. What we are going to be doing is taking a look at digital modeling. You see, that's something that I've never been particularly interested in, because when it comes to LEGO I don't find it really anywhere near as rewarding or enjoyable. But when you get to the point when the only LEGO you have access to is a Speed Champions gift with purchase, you make these strange decisions. And by the way, the set that I bought to get this gift with purchase was a gift for someone. The irony is unreal. Anyhow, after the introduction to Bricklink Studio that I had a few weeks ago with my turbo tank, I thought I'd give it another shot, but this time I wanted a different challenge. The big thing that I do on this channel is mock dioramas, so I thought it would be a fun little side quest to have to try my hand at building a mock vignette, but purely digitally. So that's what I did. I started by pouring through my bucket list of ideas for something that would be well suited to a digital environment. I eventually settled on the Star Wars planet Ferrix from the recent Andor TV show for its uniquely colored terrain. This would be the perfect job for the infamously expensive orangey brown color family that every Geonosis mock builder has endlessly complained about but bought the pieces for anyway. However, I'm still broke and will rely on going crazy with digital pieces instead. So, Ferrix is a salvage planet that has very little in the way of plant life, and it sort of looks like you just threw a reddish filter over everything. Now, the specific scene that I want to take inspiration from is the revolution scene at the end of Season 1 of Andor. This here is called Rick's Road, and the large building at the end holds a bell tower of sorts. In the show, a man essentially wallops an anvil with a hammer, and it marks the start and end of a day, or he simply uses it to annoy the Empire, as he eventually did towards the end of the show. I think this would be a really fun vignette scene to recreate, and all the curved divots in the tower will pose an interesting challenge. So with little to no planning, I dove right in. I started by ambitiously tackling that main tower. I figured if I could determine the right scale and shaping of that, the rest of the model would grow from there. But after what felt like hours, I hit a creative wall and decided to leave the tower for last. I settled on building this mock on 4 16x16 bricks, mostly because I don't own any and they look super useful. So for the style of this build, I really wanted to try my hand at the more trendy plaster everything with tiles and wedges technique. What's even better is that I could use very expensive and oftentimes parts that aren't even made in particular colors for the terrain. So that's one plus digital modeling. You're basically using pieces that don't exist and would be very expensive if they did exist. At this point, I turned my attention to the first building. I wanted to capture the fun curved supports that hold up the ground floor, because this space has no walls as such, and it's more of a covered market that I ended up using to house a part shop by sprinkling various parts all about there and putting a desk at the end. Up above, the building steps back every floor, so I used some 2x2x3 slopes interspersed with small airplane windows and cracks for some added detail. The roof is topped off with a weird mishmash of satellite and electrical equipment for a uniquely Star Wars aesthetic, and behind the building is complete with a bedroom for Cassian Andor and an even comfier home for the rats in the attic above. I was honestly pleasantly surprised by how it turned out. Not the most complex mock by any means, but I'm proud to say that I had the patience to search for each of these pieces. Next up, I needed to complete the terrain and make another building to frame the road. For this one, I let myself go absolutely wild and build with snot. Now, in all honesty, it was a fairly simple design, but it did add something unique to the build. An iconic Star Wars door with no handles later, and I had a finished house. Or anything, really. I'll let you be the judge of that. Last up, all I had to do was some final tweaks, such as completing that tower, and then spend about 30 minutes or so building minifigures and some machinery. The stormtroopers were luckily fairly easy to build as I could search for them, however the locals kind of tested my minifig customizing abilities, and let's just say I'm not the best. But at long last, the render button was smashed and I had a finished mock on my laptop. But in any case, here it is. The Star Wars Ferrix MOC is just a little vignette of the Rick's Road revolution from the season finale of Andor Season 1. On the streets, the crowd is gathering and tensions are rising. Up above, the Bellmaster strikes his anvil with reckless abandon. The shops are empty, and a tired Cassian Andor rests his eyes before the show begins. I had a lot of fun building this, and it certainly taught me quite a lot in such a short span of time. What's crazy is how much it's actually tested my existing knowledge of LEGO pieces and techniques. It's not as intuitive to experiment as having a pile of parts in front of you, so in many ways, it's really rewarding to see what you can pull off on a laptop. If you're ever in the same boat as me and don't have access to your LEGO collection, or simply want to explore the unlimited possibilities it offers, it's a fun experience to just try something digitally. And if you want to show off what you've built, then make sure that you enter my 2,000 subscriber MOC contest. I'll link the contest video in the description down below, as well as the card that's popping up on your screen right now. There are prizes to win, so make sure you enter before September 1st and join the fun. But in any case, I hope you enjoyed this video, as random as it was. If you did, then make sure to smash that like button and lightly click the subscribe one next to it. See you in the next video.